Very sorry for the interruption, and we just changed the YouTube link. I hope you will continue watching with us. Marceline, request you to welcome the gathering.
So good evening to one and all present here. At this juncture, I would like to say that every woman, per se, is an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is the one who takes a risk in her work, and she combines that with her innovation and creativity. So our Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs, it is a professional and technical platform to such aspiring women. In any entrepreneurship, we all know that there are four pillars: the passion to achieve, the technical skill to turn the passion into visible enterprise, then, of course, investment to need to scale up the passionate business. And we also require marketing opportunity to attain sustainability. So, with all these requirements, Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs, we work with a passion to help every woman who wants to, excel in entrepreneurship. So here we facilitate them to enhance their skills. We handhold them through their expert mentors. We are very, very lucky and blessed to have lots of experienced entrepreneurs with us as life members. Very, very senior entrepreneurs with lot of experience and knowledge, expertise with us. So it's very, very a forum where we have knowledge, experience, right? And we also in this organization, this COWE, Confederation of Women Entrepreneurship, apart from holding hands through our expert mentors, we also provide a network. That's a very important aspect of Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs, where network is provided with the state, national, banks, MSMEs, NSISC network at the state, district, national, to make all the entrepreneurs' dream come true. With a short background of Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs, during this lockdown, we felt that before the lockdown, we were conducting a lot of EDPs and lot of exhibitions and things like that were happening. Once there was a lockdown, we started with the online live webinars, and this is our fifth in our series. This is the fifth speaker. So we are very happy to continue with our journey in helping our entrepreneurs. A very warm welcome to one and all present here. We also have our senior life members who have joined with us. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, I would like to welcome our guest of today, Mrs. Jayasree Srinivasan. I've heard a lot about her from Rama, and today we are going to hear much more from her. So, with these few words and without further delay, I hand over to Dr. Rama. Yes, Rama.
Yeah, thank you, Marceline. Okay, let me introduce the speaker of the day, Jayasree Srinivasan, to you. Jayasree is the Executive Director and the Chief Operating Officer of Matrix Business Solutions. So Jayasree has a chartered accountancy and cost accountancy qualification. After 7 years of a corporate stint, she and 3 of her friends founded Matrix 16 years back, and there has been no turning back after that. Matrix today is India's leading business assurance company, which mitigates risk in running businesses and facilitates decision making for their customers. So Jayasree leads the operations and service delivery at Matrix and is responsible for customer engagement. She's an astute team builder and a nurturer. Yeah, so do I need to... Okay, yeah. So when not at work, Jayasree enjoys music, birding, and reading. She is extremely good at culinary skills, drawing and sketching, and writing short stories. She volunteers for story causes and loves traveling with family. So we are very, very happy to have you, Jayasree, sharing your story and some thoughts for some of the students who are students and faculty and others and fellow COWE members who are watching this. So happy to have you, Jayasree.
Thank you very much, Rama, for the introduction, and really thank this forum for giving me this opportunity today. So, 20 years back, I joined a firm, a CA firm. We were friends. We joined a firm, and we started like any other chartered accountancy firm with small assignments, and we got an opportunity through one of an MNC in a different way, because any CA firm generally do the certification and bank audits and other kind of statutory audits. So as friends, we were always wondering that we cannot compete with any big fours. So we were thinking that we should be doing something else rather than being competing with the big fours. So that is when we had an opportunity from one of the MNC to do a check pickup activity, because those days in banks, the RTGS was not very popular. So we were asked to go and pick up check from various distributors, that is the FMCG industries. There are various distributors in the supply chain. So we were asked to go and pick up check from various distributors and deposit in their bank account. We got this opportunity. So when we took up this opportunity, when gradually we found there are a much more a larger role that is present in the supply chain for us. And that is when we started thinking about doing various services for FMCG companies in the supply chain. And so we created a very unique delivery model, because we, as a chartered accountant, our fraternities are across in India. So we engaged with the CA firms to do a network of services across India with us, because the distributors will be present in any location. So we need some people to go and reach out to the distributors in different locations. So we created a network with the CA firms, and that was a very unique delivery model that we built. And we were continuing as a CA firm for 4 years with this activity. And later on, about 16 years back, we corporatized our firm, and we became a company, and we continue to render a lot of services. So as a matrix, as a leading business assurance company, we have two verticals. One is the people assurance business, and the other one is the product and process, which we call it as an audit and assurance services. So just to tell you in an easy terminology, an assurance is basically a verification which is done by an independent, with a lot of independence and integrity. So it's a verification business with a lot of independence and integrity in it. So we, the other one is the people business, where we have the employee background verification. So most people hire the employees for their organization, but it has become a real important aspect where we need to validate the credentials of employees before they hire. So we do this people assurance in our company, where there are a lot of IT and ITS companies. We service them by doing this validation of the credentials of the employees before they're hiring.
Okay, thank you. That was very interesting. So I don't think I've seen any other, I haven't seen other companies doing similar work. So I'm new to this. So, yeah. So just curious, when you were studying, did you imagine that you will become an entrepreneur? Did you always want to be an entrepreneur?
I mean, to be very honest, I never thought I'll become an entrepreneur, because I started my career as an employee. But then within a very short span, say about 6-7 years, I always felt that maybe that is not my cup of tea. And then when we join, my colleague will jovially say that if we go to anywhere else, probably no one will give us a job. So we have to find ourselves a job. And so probably we landed up in entrepreneurship, and no looking back after that.
Okay, how difficult was it for you to make the jump from the corporate company to the...
Yes, you rightly asked the question. There were quite a lot of sacrifices, monetary and all that. But there's always a pleasure when you sacrifice something and then you achieve in life. There is always a lot of happiness in that.
Okay, there's a bit of a background. Dakshayani, can I request you to please mute yourself? Dakshayani? Yeah, I'm going to, yeah. So I think this is better now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. So that was, so you made a decision and you made a plunge.
Yes.
It is a decision. Okay. Okay. So tell us about your first customer and how was it to find the first customer?
The first customer is always very close to the heart. So it's and none of us in the as a partner or my colleagues in business, we don't have any legacy of somebody passing on their business or entrepreneurship to us. So each one of us is the first time entrepreneurship in the entrepreneur. So we have to literally go and knock doors to get any kind of a business. So the first customer, as I was mentioning, when we got the the request from the customer to set up a network, so it was it's like so happy. It was really challenging, but then it gave us immense pleasure when we set up this network, and that network is a big backbone for us even till today.
So in a way, I think your earlier accountancy CA work actually led you into this. So that was a backbone for you to enter into this new business.
Yeah, because see, verification is the backbone for any chartered accountancy profession. So we still continue to do that, but just that we are not doing any certification like the statutory certification. We are not doing like the big fours, the PwC or the Deloitte kind of an auditors. Because as I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult to compete with them. So we find that, we found that that's going to be difficult, and we found a different space for us in the business assurance.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so tell us, what has been the most exciting and most rewarding aspect of your venture?
Exciting is whenever we bag a customer, it's a real excitement, however small it is. Even today, even if it's a very small customer, if it's a very small business, we really jump into it and we make a big noise among ourselves. So that's a big, happiness for us. And a challenge is, as I mentioned, to knock anybody's door, because without knowing or without having any kind of a reference or without having any kind of experience in the space, to go and click any customer and service them the way they want. And you see the happiness in their face when we deliver, and they become a very sticky customer to us, and they give us more and more work. That is really very happy, and it's that we feel is a very challenging and a day-to-day challenge is what we enjoy.
Okay. So, okay, that's nice. So, can you tell us any anecdote, some very, very challenging aspects in your entrepreneurial journey?
Okay, so in my entrepreneurial journey, actually, more there are customers, there are partners with me, my colleagues, there are employees, there are various people that we encounter. But I was able to learn something from one of my employees, so that I feel is a very, very important thing for an entrepreneurship, and I still carry out that in my mind, and it's still fresh in my mind. So when we started Matrix, There was an employee where actually I had asked him to do something and he delivered. He was in the client's premises and he delivered, but he did a mistake. So I had to, I was young that time. Okay. So I was a little agitated and accepting something wrong is not easy for everyone. Okay. So at that time I got really agitated and I raised my voice and I said, what is this? How can you make a mistake like this? But then the next day he vanished. He didn't turn up to the office. And we are answerable to the customer because he was in the customer premises. So I didn't know what to do. But then we were trying to desperately reach him and he was not picking my calls. And my colleague, when he called, he gave his phone to his mom and his mom said that there is a lady in your office. I believe that lady shouted at my son. And how can he take an instruction from a lady? How can a lady shout at him?
Oh.
So I still have this in my mind. And two things I learned out of this. One is knee-jerk reaction should not be shown anywhere, whether it is a customer, or whether it is your own team member, or whether it is your peer group. Never show your knee-jerk reaction. And that day my ego was, brought down.
Yeah.
I should have stepped back a little and understand his point of view, why he committed that mistake. So if I had done that, I think, I could have handled that situation in a better way. But nevertheless, it was a very good lesson to me. So it's still there. And I think this is one of a very important, attribute any entrepreneur should have in life.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. There is a related question. In fact, those who had registered were also asking me, did you face any challenge as a woman entrepreneur?
See, basically, for women, there needs to be acceptance. Okay, so whether it is a customer or whether it is your own partner or whether a team member, as I mentioned here, so we need an acceptance. So I think I was lucky, and my business is with my own friends. We did CA together. We all studied together. So the wavelength really matches. So I think as in the business with the peer group, I didn't face any challenge. But as I mentioned, like this instance, there could be, various instances where there will be a challenge because I'm a woman.
Okay. So how do you manage those challenges?
Of course, with a smile.
Thank you. That is a good answer. Okay, there is one other question that a lot of people want to know. So because of the COVID lockdown, are you affected? And if so, how are you managing?
Definitely, we are affected like anybody else because our business, if you look at it, it's 30% of our job is outside the office. And so we need to be going around. Our team needs to be visiting various places to complete their job. So during the lockdown, obviously nobody can go out. Everything is shut. But we very creatively and very engagingly, we did two things. We developed an audit services, digital audit services at our end during this lockdown, which we are making use of it now. And our team is also engaged by that product.
Okay. Thank you. So it's interesting that you, even this challenge, you converted it into an opportunity for a new idea. Okay. Another question that a lot of people have been asking me is, how do you balance or integrate your work and life balance? Work and life issues.
I should say I'm very lucky because my husband is also a chartered accountant, so he definitely knows the the plus and minus in this profession, and so he understands, and my family understands, and they cooperate very well. So I think I should say I'm very lucky.
So I noticed that you have a lot of extracurricular activities. So I think you.
So I feel that every time we need to have something new to learn and to there need to be some space for the individual in us. So that is the reason why I keep learning something or other. So I'm happy to say that I started learning music in a much later part of my life, and also this drawing, which I picked up during this lockdown.
Okay.
So I feel very happy if I complete one drawing. Every day one drawing gives me a lot of pleasure.
Uh-huh. Okay, interesting. So continuous. I have a few questions that I picked up from the students. Yeah, so one question from Lyran Lakpam Devi. I hope I got it right. From Liberal College in Imphal. So actually she is, or maybe not that. Yeah, okay. There is a question from Ahmed Dabir Sabar from IIT Hyderabad, who wants to know what are the challenges that a middle income group family would face in deciding to invest in an entrepreneurship. So the question also is, did you invest a huge amount of money in your venture?
Luckily, our venture is nothing to do with investing money. It's the question of time. And of course, when we invest our time, so we are compromising on the income levels. So to that extent, it is a challenging one because at the prime of your age, you venture into a business, so and you may not get the remuneration when your peer group, when people who are going for employment is earning, you may not be getting that kind of a revenue initially. So if we put in more and more effort, I think that will reap a benefit. That is what it is right now for us.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so any questions? Dakshayani, you had a question. Yeah. Okay. So, any other questions from the other speakers, or have we covered all the questions? So, there was one question from a student, Nitin Kumar, who wanted to know about your first customer and how you felt when you got your first profit. How did
Yeah.
it
So
feel?
the made me run from city to city, and I almost covered about 15 cities, I would say, in a span of 1.5 months. And I've never traveled alone. So that was a very interesting journey for me. So I used to go to one city, finish my task, train my people, come back, and then pack my bags again, and then go to the another city. So it was very exciting for me because first time travel, and it gave me immense pleasure to meet a lot of people and also train a lot of youngsters at that point in time.
So yeah, so I think your attitude of looking forward to challenges and converting them into opportunities is your secret formula. So everywhere I see you doing that from the
Yes,
beginning to the lockdown times.
yes.
Okay, so for youngsters or people who are new to entrepreneurship, would you like to give some advice of what people should be looking at, and yeah, uh,
Uh,
what we should be careful about?
we need to be very passionate about whatever we are trying to do, and there should be absolute focus on what you're going to deliver, whether it is a product or whether it is a service. We need to be very clear and focused, and as I mentioned, there need to be acceptance on what you're going to deliver. So we should be very
Yeah, what happened? I think there's a lot of
there's some disturbance.
this.
Okay, so
Yeah, I just mute. Yeah, I'll mute Dakshayani for a minute. Yeah,
yeah,
is it
so
better?
we yeah, so we need to be very focused on what one needs to do. Initially there'll be an urge to take up a lot of things because there'll be not so much of money on hand. So we should not end up taking up doing many things at a time. So we should be focused. That's my advice to the young entrepreneurs.
Okay, clarity in what they are going to do, and a focus is
Yes.
both. You think are extremely important. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for sharing your time and talking to us about your own entrepreneurial journey. So I'm sure it's going to be useful to our students. So I'm just wondering, can we just play a small role play that couple of
Yeah,
students had made?
I was maybe not many people will know what an assurance services is.
Yeah.
So I would like to play a video here to know so that people are very clear as to what exactly is this and where does Matrix pitch in to do these services.
Yeah. So Ganesh, can you stream the video?
How many do you need?
Is it on the Gmeet and
Just
on the
give me
YouTube or
5.
only on
How
YouTube?
much?
Just a minute, ma'am. I'll
Only
just
on YouTube.
calculate. Like, 38 rupees, ma'am.
What is this now? This medicine is going to expire within 2 days. Do you have any other stock?
Ma'am, let me check. Oh no, like we don't. I'm sorry that we don't have any other stock of this company, ma'am. We have the same composition of tablet from different company. Are
No,
you fine if I get you that?
no. I want only those medicines. It is all that I'll just check some other chemist.
Sorry, ma'am. I'll check with the dealer and restore you the medicine, ma'am.
But during my headache, how will that help? Anyway, thank you.
I'm calling from Viva Pharmacy. Am I speaking to Yogesh?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Tell me, how can I help you?
So, the roll-on tablet stock by you is supposed to be expired within 2 days, but I restored this last month ago.
Is it, ma'am? If possible, can you send me a pic on WhatsApp?
So, before calling you,
Oh, wait, ma'am. Let me check. Oh my God. So, I'm sorry, ma'am. Let me check with the company. I'll bring new stock by this week, ma'am.
yes, sir, we have heavy demand of few medicines here, and one among them is roll-on.
Oh, okay, ma'am. I'll get back to you as soon as possible, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is it Logi from RSME Group?
Yes, tell me.
Sir, this is Yogi from Mugabe, your dealer
Yeah,
for
tell me.
Chevrolet. Sir, the roll-up stock is about to expire within 2 days, sir. I received calls from the pharmacy asking for replacement, sir.
Is it so?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, then sure, I'll arrange for the replacement.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Yogesh. Oh no, it's my 10th dealer calling me right now. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be a huge loss during this pandemic.
Okay, the video is still going on.
Okay.
Video is done? Okay.
Okay. So, in this role play, thank you guys for this very short notice. You have done this role play. Thank you very much. So in this role play, if you look at it, there is a consumer, there is a retailer who sells the medicine, and there is a distributor or a dealer, and there is a company which manufactures this particular medicine. So a consumer approaches and he finds that the product is not usable because it's going to expire in a very short time. So where does Matrix come into picture? So he says he returns the medicine, and then the distributor is calling up the retailer is approaching the distributor to give us a replacement, and the distributor is approaching the company and saying that there is a lot of medicines with me which you need to replace, because each the retailer and the distributor, they are each one is an entrepreneur and they have invested money. So what does the company do? The company has to take back these medicines and then they have to give the money back, or they have to give the equivalent or a fresh product to them. How can a company visit each and every distributor or each and every retailer and conduct this particular, what kind of a medicine that they have to take back and what kind of a money they have to refund? How will they know? So that is where every company has a policy to refund. So what happens? They engage. This is where Matrix come into picture. So Matrix has two roles here, basically. So one is go to the distributor location. If the company is engaging matrix, they will go to the distributor location, and we will verify the stock which has been taken back from the retailer, which we call it as a market return. And those market returns, we have to verify whether they're all the market returns, or in this particular role play, the Yogesh was a very genuine guy. So he was able to, he was only claiming for what he is eligible. There could be people who will be claiming for which they are not eligible at all. They could be even putting other materials into the claim. So Matrix goes there, verifies the stock, and then submits the report to the company, and the company repays the money to the distributor. So this is one role which we call as the market returns audit. So this is one of the assurance services which we carry out in the audit and assurance services. The second one is the company is not sending the expired stock to the market, because it is a very big risk. A customer should always get the quality product. Being a medicine or even a food product, it will be very risky to have the expired product in the market. So the companies engage us to go and verify the 100% stock of the distributors to see whether any nearing expiry is there, whether the stock is good, and then make sure that the distributor is sending only the valuable products, the quality products to the retailers. So that there also we have a role. So they engage us to do and assess the stock situation of the distributors. So this is what we call as the product assurance, because here we help the company, because the company has got a representative or many executives, but that is not their key job. So if they focus on this, on assessing whether the distributor is giving the right claim of the stock to the company, then they will be losing their focus. So that is where Matrix pitches in and then does this verification.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jayasree. That was very well explained, and I think this role play made it easier for us to understand exactly what.
And I just want to say one more thing here. We started this company 100 employees, and out of which 40% are women population. So I'm very proud about that. Yes. And I think I need to make a mention here in this forum, being a women population. So I need to mention here, and 40% of our population is women, and we have 10 branches, and all 4 branches are headed by women executives.
Oh, excellent. And does your work involve a lot of traveling, and these women are comfortable doing the travel?
Yes, women are comfortable doing the travel, and we don't force anybody, and people accept it as when there is a need.
Okay, excellent. So I'm really so impressed that you have so many women leaders in your company, and you yourself being a women leader, you understand and you've done a fantastic job. Yeah, thank you very much. And now I'm going to request Dakshayani, who's one of our senior members. When I say senior members, she's been there in this organization for a longer time, but she's very young at heart. And she is very young. She's going to propose a vote of thanks.
Before that, Rama, I would just like to give an invitation to Jayasree to join our Confederation of Women Entrepreneurs, because your expertise, knowledge will be helpful for our budding entrepreneurs whom we have.
So, surely I'll do that. Surely I'll do it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Daksha? Yeah.
Jayasree, we deem it a pleasure to have you over with us at COWE. We are, again, we have pressed our restart button where Rama and Marceline are doing immense work in bringing us all together. At a juncture like this, to have you here and talking to us in a very inspiring way, that I think they have arranged for a very motivating speaker. And from what you spoke, you have done a lot. It's not that you just had a business plan. You worked along with your husband, partnering with him. But first of all, you have come with a innovative idea, meaning you have put in solution, giving you worked in an area where you've given assurance, product assurance, and in that you've done a lot of self introspection and shared even your vulnerable moments with us, which is the need for all entrepreneurs to continue and never give up, and always constantly do the self introspection, which will lead you to the growth that you're seeking. You were also a keen learner. That's a total entrepreneurial trait, because if you're constantly doing something which you're comfortable doing, you're not going to grow. And you also mentioned that you learned drawing, and I like the idea that you constantly keep pushing you to discomfort zone, meaning doing something that you've not done before. I think these are all the small factors that have led you to a position where you are. And this kind of growth is the proof is in the pudding. Your staff has increased from 10 to 1,000 and odd. I really congratulate you on that. And also, you have been so diverse and practiced gender inclusion in your work culture, which sets an example and cuts you about the rest. Even the parliament is unable to bring in the 33% inclusion in the women engagement. So we really congratulate you on this, and I totally appreciate and thank Rama and Marcelin and bringing Jayasree amongst us today this evening. And thanks also for the technical people who have put up this event. And like Marcelin extended an invitation to Jayasree, I would also end this expression of gratitude by saying that joining our organization, you will add value to us. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us, Jayasree.
Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. I'm glad that I'm able to make a small impact in some of the entrepreneurs who are listening to this.
Thank you.
Thank you all. And some of the members wanted to know when they'll get the certificate form. We will just post the feedback link in the just under the YouTube link, and if as soon as you fill that up, you'll get your certificates. Thank you. Have a great evening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jayasree. Thank you for being with us.
Bye. Thank you, Jayasree.
Bye, Jayasree. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Rama and Daksha ma'am. Bye.